What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. And don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and get your copy of Arrangement Arsenal, 10 premium chart-topping arrangements from the Billboard 100 Hot. You guys are going to want to get this. If you have Studio One 4, don't worry about it. They were created in Studio One 3, but they are .song format, which means they open right up in Studio One 4, and you could get to work making beats fast AF, fam. So anyway, we're gonna go into how to set up a machine inside Studio One to get the drum workflow that I like. And this is just all about taking a DAW and understanding that you can really get almost all these DAWs, depending on what plugins you have, to work any way you want them to work. So, even though we might see some things that we might not like about a certain DAW, that doesn't mean you give up on it. You might and go and drop another $300-$500 on another DAW. You just figure out how to make it work. So my problem with Studio One 4 right now is the samplers and sample like sample one got some weird stuff going on in there right now. Impact XT, still don't really like using Impact that much, and so I was thinking like, all right, so what's gonna be my solution, because I still have the Studio One Artist serial number waiting on that to get fixed. So how do I get back to work doing what I want to do? And then also what I was thinking was, I really like Studio One 4, especially with the direction that they're going and everything, and I think I'm going to get more streamlined and just probably wind up selling my push and my live license, and just no, I'm not going to sell my live license, but I'll probably sell my push. I won't use it. And I was thinking like, but I really like the step sequencer and being able to touch the step sequencer. And that's when I realized, bruh, I have a jam, and everything that I want the Studio One samplers to do, Maschine does. So let me just use Maschine. Boom. So we're back on this one again. So yeah, basically what I did is I went into Maschine, and my whole thing is I like to be able to browse samples quickly and do it and not have to go to a folder through 3 different menus to get. I want to be able to get to the sounds quickly. I know I like my Sound Oracle sounds. I know what's in those folders. I want to be able to just jam through them. The having Maschine helps you out with that, because when you browse your drive and you go to your folders, you can select add to favorites, or even better, you select import to library. And what import to library does is it lets you browse those files from the controller, which is really cool. So I can have this and then click browse on my Maschine controller, and then use the rotary encoder to go through a whole bunch of sounds while the MIDI pattern is playing. So I'm auditioning those sounds in the middle of the song playing, so I get to hear those samples in context, which is so, because you'll hear a kick while the song is stopped and think that's the one, and then you put it in the song and you're like, no. So that's my whole thing. Again, what I do is workflow. I like to cut clicks. I don't want to be clicking around a lot. Some of you guys that like to spend 3-4 hours making a beat, you don't mind clicking, so that's cool. So anyway, the way that I got around to this was, and this is something I've done in the past, I just went into Maschine. Maschine is an awesome sampler because it's just the routing capabilities, right? So what we went ahead and did was I took a group, right? And the thing that you got to know about Maschine is every instance of Maschine, and this is kind of how you could plan your workflow. Every instance of Maschine will give you 16 audio outputs, and then you also have 16 MIDI inputs. So that is 16 channels that you can send audio out to, and that you can send MIDI to. You can either choose to use the individual channels inside of a group to trigger that, or you can do it as groups. And the only thing that's going to change is if you're routing the group or the sound. So for this one, the machine's tracks are called sound. For this one, I chose to go with the sounds, right? So if you look here on my audio routing on my output, this is routed to EXT stands for external. So it stock, it comes routed to the group, and then that group goes to the main out. What you want to do is you want to send these to individual outs, and it's really easy to do. You just click on that, and then you correspond with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you look at the mixer and I go ahead and play these sounds, each one has their own track, and then I can route that to my drum bus. I can go ahead and set up things like, say, let's see, I could put my my track spacer sidechain. Let me remove those, and then to set up my sidechain, I just go to my sidechains, find track spacer. Boom, now we're sidechaining our 808s. Lovely. So I can work in the step sequencer inside Studio One, or inside Machine. So if I play, all right. But then you'll notice I don't have any MIDI here, right? So if I'm using the step sequencer, you don't wind up with MIDI to Studio One, which is fine, because if you like using the step sequencer and that's how you get your ideas out, boom, that's great. Then you could just click and hold and drag this out. Now you're in the actual piano roll. You go ahead and play. Okay, and then the great thing about this, and this is what was annoying me about the pattern editor, because the way that we work, you want to a lot of times you want to copy this up and get it to an 808. So this is way faster than having to convert track, bounce track. No. Just click and drag. All right, trash pattern, but you get the point. Now, as far as using the other sounds, the setting that you're gonna have to put on your channel strips is it's actually very easy to set up. So we'll go ahead and want to expose these. You want to make sure that your instrument is set to machine, right? So we could just highlight these all and set them to machine. And you could actually do this when you're creating these tracks. It makes it a lot easier. So again, when we went ahead and did our audio outputs, we had to do the same thing to our MIDI input. All right, and so you got to set this to host, and then the corresponding MIDI channel that you want it to go to. So I just go 1 through 9, boom, and then just hit it here. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now this allows me to, and this is what I wanted to be able to do in Impact, but it's not capable of doing it yet. And this is an annoying bug that I'm still getting with this. Like when you make a new MIDI pattern, it doesn't open it up on the piano roll. You have to click on another MIDI pattern and click this back, right? So what we got to do is we'll drop this in, right? And then if I wanted to pitch these, all right. So again, trash pattern, but you get the point. That is, whereas the way that Impact works now, when you have to do the workaround to send it to the piano roll, if I was to hit another key, it's just going to trigger another sample, because their pads are routed to the keyboard. They don't spread the sample across the keyboard when you set the piano roll. So I was missing that functionality, and now I have it. So now I'm really excited because I have the capability to use my hands on a step sequencer like I could with Push. I can browse the samples fast like I could with Push. I can I also have machines like really cool effects for, you know, for each sound. Like I could go ahead and set this up to, you know, I can use their glide. I could go ahead and use their sampler recreations. I like using the MP60 on 808s. That gives it a cool little growl. And you know, if I wanted to, I could utilize the machine's pattern-based editing to where, you know, to where I can make 3 or 4 different drum patterns inside the machine while I'm playing my instruments that I've created without having to, you know, without having to do an arrangement, and then just quickly using drag and drop the MIDI to the arrange window, and then continue tweaking and going from there. So that's really cool. If you wanted to do this where you wanted to say sample inside a machine, right? You could then take, you know, stretch your sample, find your key information inside of here, and then go ahead and navigate to a sample. And the only thing that you got to remember is that inside machine you can't use MP3s, right? So if you have like an MP3, something you ripped off of YouTube or something, you're gonna want to go ahead and just put it into the arrange window, click Alt B, then go to Studio One, find your projects folder, go to the bounces folder, and from the browser, and then drop it onto here. So if I had, you know, say I had this sample that I wanted to mess with, we'll set this to 1. And then say I had, you know, just for argument's sake, say I had 3 different chops, right, that I was gonna do something with. Let me mute this. All right, so, and I had 3 different chops that I was gonna do something with. That's how a lot of us sample on machine. We'll find one, then copy and paste that pad, then copy and paste that pad, and find more chops. It wouldn't make sense to send all of these to individual channels, right? I just want one sample channel. So what I do is I would go to Group, hit this button again, go to Output, and where we at? And send it to one of the existing channels that I'm not using. So say, or one of the external channels that I'm not using. So say external 10. And then, hold on, these are the aux effects. No. I want to go to audio right here. There we go. And then so now I can go back to the machine, pad right here, and the way that you access these tracks is you need to press the triangle and click expand, and then just go here, select the machine out too, and then when I press the sample, I've got it here so I can route it to the band bus, you know, drop a you could drop an RC20 on it, get your wobble on. So whatever you wanted to do. So using Machine with Studio One pretty much just solved you know, any little gripe that I was having with the DAW. The velocity in sample 1 is very suspect right now, and that was really messing with my mojo. So anybody who's kind of switching over and you're you know, and you're missing you know, some of the response and functionality that we used to have before, if you have Machine, This is a very good alternative to just to just have something to be able to do your drums, and to be able to have, to be able to turn choke sample on, on a kick drum, and not have it clip and when you try to do a fast roll. This will definitely get you there, man. So I hope this helped you guys out. This is CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio1Tutorials.com. Keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.